Okay, so now we're on to step 2 of how to do a cable stitch pattern. And again, we are following the lessons that I teach in my class. And if you watch the previous video, what we did is we started out with 16 stitches on the cast on row. And we worked 3 garter stitch rows. And on the 3rd garter stitch row, we made 5 stitches. So we have a new stitch here, a new stitch here, one here, here, and here. Now, in order to do cables, a lot of people find this next tool very helpful. This is a stitch holder, and they come in different sizes and different forms. I personally do not like to use these because I can just easily switch the stitches on the needle myself without having to use these little things. For me, this is just an extra step. But for your sake, I will show you how to use these. So again, if you've been following my class, you understand that we have a garter stitch border. So go ahead and knit your 2 first garter stitch stitches. Then you are going to purl 1. Now this is where you are going to want to introduce your cable stitch, or rather your stitch holder, I should say. Now I have on the semi-finished project, because I still have to show you some things at the end, I have 4 different cables, or I shouldn't say different, but I have 4 cables. I've got the first one going that way, this one going that way, and that way. They're the same exact pattern, just I chose to make them go in varying orders. Okay, so this is what our goal is this right here. Okay? So in order to do that, I'm working over 3 stitches because this yarn is super chunky and I don't like to do more than the minimal amount when it comes to cables on chunky yarn. Insert your cable stitch holder into the first stitch, and you're going to hold that in the front. It is very important that you keep that in the front because that's what's going to create our cable. Go ahead and knit 2. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this stitch that you've held off and you're going to put it onto your left-hand needle. So you've moved the stitch from over here, and it's now going to be over here once you work it. Okay, go ahead, and it will be tight. Go ahead and knit that stitch. It's very tight because you have pulled your yarn, and you can see it's over here now. Okay, then you're going to purl 1. And now we're going the opposite direction with the cable stitch. So I'm just going to move my yarn to the front to get it out of the way. Take these 2 stitches and move them to the back. Now you can move your yarn back to its original place in the back. Knit 1. And be careful not to let this guy twist because you don't want your stitches to be twisted. Okay, and then go ahead and put these 2 back on your needle. I apologize if it's a little shaky to watch. It's really difficult to work with as tight as my tension is in front of a camera. Okay, so knit those 2 stitches. Oops. And those are your 2. Those are the 2 cable patterns that you're going to be following. And on each cable you have 4 rows, at least with this pattern. So what you just did was row number 1. Then you're going to go to the wrong side and do row number 2. And then 3 on the knit side and 4 on the purl side. Once you finish up with those, you're going to do it again. And what your goal is you want the 1 stitch to be in the front for this one because it needs to lap over these 2 stitches and it needs to go that way. And because you have this stitch over here moving over to this side, you're going to hold these two stitches in the back so that this one, this little arm here, is in the front. You always want to make sure that whichever way your cable is directed, that arm is in the front towards you. Okay, so that is how you do a cable stitch. And if you have any questions, please comment below, because I understand that this was a short video. I try and keep them short, and I will be happy to answer or even create a new video. So thank you so much for watching.